All right, the Padres, they get the 1-0 win over the Giants in extras. There were no runs scored. This is baseball, right? Like going into it, Logan Webb for the Giants and you got Steven Kolek for the Padres. On paper, you would think, oh, yeah, Giants probably will win this game. They'll get a great pitching performance from Logan Webb. It'll be tough. Giants are playing at home, and there's that. But credit to Padres pitching for hanging right in there. Logan Webb, yes, he pitched well. Like, that wasn't surprising. But to see Steven Kolek go out there and just get a bunch of ground balls, not just keep the Padres in the game, but be a big reason why they end up winning this game because it was a 1-0 game, obviously. Like, it wasn't like it was 3-3 when he exited the game. But yeah, 5 2/3 innings from him, no runs. What was big was when they had the bases loaded with nobody out and he gets the ground ball. This is the Jose Iglesias game. I understand, but got to give props to Kolek for getting those ground balls in the first place. The grounder to third to Iglesias, who was playing third base because Manny was DHing tonight. Not a great night from him. But Iglesias gets the guy at home on the force out, and then the double play. I think it was 5-4-3. After, by the way, there was a back pick, and somehow New York or New Jersey, wherever the review location is, thought that Willie Adames was safe when clearly he was out. Like, there's a screenshot that I posted on my Twitter that literally shows Adames off the bag and Bogarts tagging Adames, and they called him safe, which that was wild. There was a call later in the game on a stolen base that was a little bit closer. That one got overturned, and it's like, how does that get overturned? Now, I agreed that it should have been overturned, but how does that get overturned? But then the previous call, where it's clear that Adames was out, that gets called safe. But Padres, they still get out of it. And yeah, like the defense today showed up big. Kolek with the ground balls. Morhone comes in there with his nasty pitches, couple of strikeouts from him. Jeremiah Estrada with the gas to get out of that seventh inning. Jason Adam, so nasty that you had Casey Schmidt trying to get hit, and then he strikes out, swings at a pitch that's not near the zone because it maybe looked like it was going to hit the outside part of the plate on the breaking ball, and you obviously have like no time to react. Like, you got to make a decision, and he looked foolish. But it was hilarious seeing him punch out like that on a pitch that was nowhere near the strike zone after he was trying to get hit the previous pitch, and he made it very clear he was trying to get hit. Like, that was not an accident. Maybe he thought the pitch was going to be closer, so he could have like gotten hit. But I think he was already going. He was like, "Oh crap, yeah, this ain't gonna look good." So he's probably gonna get, some crap from teammates on that one. But yeah, Jason Adam did his job. Robert Suarez comes in, 2 innings from him, pretty quick, ninth inning. So he was able to go out for that 10th inning, and that was pretty quick as well. Jose Iglesias, what a play he made there on that ball that was hit hard to third with the runner on third. He could have looked the runner back and maybe have actually tagged him out because the runner was a little bit off third base, but obviously makes the play. And even before that, that ball on that bunt was going to go foul. He picks it up, gets the out anyway, and I was like, oh, please don't come back to hurt the Padres. Please don't come back to hurt the Padres. Suarez was getting hit pretty hard. That ball down the third baseline, that was hit hard, obviously. And then the final out to Arise, Suarez threw that ball 102 miles per hour. So you don't have to put a big swing on that for that ball to get hit hard. And luckily it found Arise's glove. There was, I forget if it was the 10th inning or the 9th inning. I think it was the 9th inning. A liner to center that was hit hard, and Merrill was there. So hopefully that's not a sign of things to come where this reminded me, to be honest, of that Dodgers outing late last year where there was the triple play. But remember, Suarez was not pitching great, but he got bailed out there, and I think he got a little bit bailed out here tonight. But still, results-based business, did his job, got the win. Good for him. Has a sub-2 ERA. Jason Adam, 1.20 ERA. All four of the guys that pitched, they're big four relievers, all have sub-3 ERAs. So pretty darn good there. I did want to shout out Tyler Wade for getting that bunt down to get the runner over in extras, and hopefully the Padres will have some more offense and be able to score in one of the 9 innings tomorrow. Preferably multiple, but just score so we don't have to go to extras. Because this is a tough stretch here with no days off until the 12th. So, you know, I'm definitely not bashing Kolek here. I'm just saying hopefully we can get some length. Although tomorrow is probably not the best day for me to be requesting that because Ryan Bergert's going to be on the mound, and if you're the Padres, you probably just want him to keep you in the game. You're not expecting him to go 6, 7 innings, but we'll see. He can surprise us. Uh, what you'd like is for Dylan Cease. I think he's pitching the series now. I think Pavetta's the day before. You'd like those two to give you some length. Preferably one of those guys, both of those guys, but one of those guys for sure. Give us 7 innings. That would be awesome. Have a lead. Just go to Adam Suarez one of these games. That could really help the bullpen out a little bit, or just have it be a laugher, and so we can send Wandy out there or someone to not have to use high leverage relievers. But credit to Padres pitching again tonight. Obviously, again 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position that they held the Giants to. So it feels like they've never played NL West opponents. Now I know the Rockies, but I don't even include them because of how bad they are. Last time I saw they were 9-50. I think they've won 2 games since Bud Black got fired. So clearly wasn't Bud Black, as we all knew at the time. But I'm sure he's doing just fine with whatever he has going. I'd like him to become like San Diego State baseball's head coach. I know that things have not been going great the last couple of seasons with that program, and obviously Bud Black, used to play there. So I don't think that would happen. I imagine he'd want to stay in the big leagues, but he'll probably be a Dodgers special assistant with the relationship he has with Dave Roberts. But that would be cool. It's kind of a pipe dream for him to go coach at San Diego State. So that's the Padres game, 1-0 there. Hopefully I didn't miss. Oh, I should probably talk about the Wilmer Flores hit by pitch, and then he got pissed off. Sure, can you be pissed off that you get hit by the pitch? I get it. Yep. But to be talking to Stephen Kolek as if he was trying to do that on purpose, come on, man. And I firmly still believe this. If the Padres were trying to send a message, it would not be to Wilmer Flores. You would not be hitting Wilmer Flores. It would be Matt Chapman or Willie Adames. I know Flores is their 3-hitter, but come on. It would not be Wilmer Flores that you're sending the message to. And yeah, there's no message to be sent, by the way. It was a 0-0 game. Kolek's obviously not trying to hit you. You're trying to go win that baseball game, which the Padres did. It was Elias Diaz that got hit, I think, the previous inning. The Padres, it would be one thing if they nailed Tatis or something. It was Elias Diaz. We're moving on. You're not trying to hit Wilmer Flores in that situation. Just, it is what it is. The Padres are ready to go, though. Manny, Hayward, Maldonado, I think they were all standing there on the infield dirt. You don't want to mess with this team. So we'll see what happens the rest of this series. I did want to get to the Jarren Duran stuff because I saw that article from Dennis Lin earlier this morning, I should say. And I was working, so I didn't have a chance to make a video or anything on it. But it was saying that the Padres are interested in him. As the Padres face a daunting upcoming schedule and glaring holes at the bottom of their lineup, their list of trade targets again includes Boston Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran. League sources told The Athletic. The Padres expressed interest in Duran ahead of the 2024 season, before Jurickson Profar and Jackson Merrill joined Duran as first-time All-Stars. Now an underwhelming Red Sox team might consider Duran expendable. Outfielder Roman Anthony remains tantalizingly close to Boston, and a restless fan base has been clamoring for the arrival of baseball's number 1 prospect. I think that was Roman Anthony. I'm not, totally locked in with Red Sox prospects. I think that was him, that video where he didn't want to sign for 10 autograph people, either autograph hounds or fans outside the stadium in, I think their AAA ballpark. So he sat in a laundry cart and they put stuff over him to get him to the bus. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but at the same time, it was funny. But yeah, he seems like he's that big of a guy already. To me, with this, I don't see this happening. Um, I think it's funny that obviously when this comes out, there's a bunch of trade proposals and Xander Bogaerts is in there because Padre fans want to get rid of his contract and oh, send him back to Boston. He wants to be in Boston, and Red Sox fans may love to see Xander back with them and all that. And they can get Roman Anthony in the big leagues, and you get Xander. But for me, it's like watching that Netflix documentary. Jarren Duran is one of the core players of that Red Sox team. Why would they want to get rid of him? He's their leadoff hitter. I was looking at their lineups recently, and their center fielder's hitting like eighth or ninth. Duran, who's playing left, he's leading off. Why would you want to get rid of him if you're trying to contend here, especially in the early years of Roman Anthony, right? If you're not paying him a lot of money, and Marcelo Meyer, um, Christian Campbell, like these top prospects that they have up, Crochet that they just signed an extension with, Devers isn't getting any younger. Why would you try to uh, like get worse essentially in the outfield and just your offense by trading away Jarren Duran? Because what big league piece is going to come back in that deal? You know, I'm not including Leo DeVries. So, like any Red Sox fan that wants to sit there and make a proposal that includes Leo DeVries for Jarren Duran, that's not happening. Duran has, I think, 3 more years of control after this year. He's making like $3 million. I think it's projected to be $8 million next year. So it's not a lot of money. I'd love to have Jarren Duran on the team. Um, Again, watching that Netflix doc, like I love the personality, and he obviously cares a lot, and he's gone through his own struggles. Obviously, if you were able to watch that doc on the Red Sox, I think that he would fit in for sure. That passion. I kind of compare him and Jackson Merrill a little bit there with like the not is cockiness the right word? The just confidence about themselves, but they're good human beings as well. Yeah, I'd love to have Jarren Duran, but I'm not giving up my future starting shortstop and a guy that could be one of the best players in the league at some point, is what it seems like. I'm not giving that guy up for Jarren Duran. You're taking on salary, and it would be 3 years of control. Um, I mean, what would the rest of the package have to look like? Ethan Salas, would I want to give him up? No. Would I be overreacting by giving him up? Would I be overreacting to like the back injury and you know maybe not performing the way that a lot of Padres fans want him to, and like as fast as possible in the minor leagues, if that makes sense, and develop as fast? He's what, 18 years old still? He's a young catcher. There's a lot of people like in America that would just be getting into professional organizations at this time, and he's been in Double A. Like we got to give him a little bit of time here. Catchers usually take the longest to develop. And oh, by the way, again, he's 18, so maybe even 17. Let me double check that. Ethan Salas, age 19. He's 19. Like it's gonna take some time. But would I rather at this moment give up Salas or DeVry? I'd rather give up Salas. Um, is Jarren Duran the guy to give up Salas for? I think it's debatable. I think I gotta see that Padres front office, that war room, that debate room, AJ Preller's office. If he has names up on a whiteboard or something, like I want to see those names. If it's like an ace starting pitcher, would you give up Salas? Would you rather do that than Jarren Duran? You know, um, I don't think you'd be giving up Salas for like Sandy Alcantara, let's say, because of how he's been pitching. Um, Luis Robert Jr., he's out there with the White Sox. That seems like a kind of like a Gavin Sheets type thing. Like there was hype there, didn't live up to it, but could the Padres change some things with him? They'd still have to give up stuff though, so some pretty good stuff. Um, I'm gonna look up the Padres' top prospects right now, just to see like what are some of these names that maybe we'd be looking at here? Would you have to give up a Boston Bateman, Cobb Hightower, Kavaris Tier? I could definitely see that the Red Sox like needing another prospect outfielder in there, like Kavaris Tiers, um, Braden Nett, Isaiah Lowe, like someone like that. Would they want a big league arm? I know they just brought up Bradley Rodriguez, but would it have to be someone like that or Sean Reynolds that you throw in there? These names, Sanabria, first base. Some of these names that I'm throwing out there, I think the Padres would be willing to trade if they would get someone like Jarren Duran. But would you trade these guys and Ethan Salas for Jarren Duran? And what else would you get from the Red Sox? Because I don't know if it would just be a simple we get Duran and that's it, and we give up multiple players. Padres may want, throw in a pitcher, throw in an arm because you can never have enough arms, right? But looking at Duran, his season so far, he was an all-star last year, leading off for the Red Sox this year. Red Sox, I think there weren't super high expectations, but their expectations were raised going into the year, and I don't think they met them. I think Red Sox fans are pretty pissed off with the team so far. These numbers, they don't stand out to me from Duran this year. 264 average, 4 homers, 34 ribbies, 13 stolen bases. His OPS is 718. His OPS plus is literally league average, 100. This was entering today. So again, like that stuff doesn't stand out to me, but if you're the Padres, you're not going to be judging Duran just off what he's doing this year. I mean, he was an 8-7 WAR player last year. 8-7 WAR player. Led the AL in doubles, led the AL in triples. He's got the speed, and he can play multiple outfield positions. But again, like I just don't see this happening with the Red Sox. I would assume their price tag would be high, but also, why, if you're the Red Sox, why would you be motivated to give up Jarren Duran just to make room for your top prospect? You could slide Duran over to center field. Maybe there's Red Sox fans that are watching this, and let me know if I'm just, speaking out of my butt essentially, and I don't know what I'm talking about. With the center fielder, Abreu, I think is his name. I see him at the bottom of the order. Seems like he's a really good defensive outfielder, but that's kind of like Brandon Lockridge. But that's what it is. You're telling me that you would rather trade, if you're the Red Sox, you'd rather trade Jarren Duran than just move him back to center field, which is where he played last year, I'm pretty sure, and move Abreu off of center field and have him be a bench player, utility type guy, or package him somewhere else. Like, does Willier Abreu, you'd rather have Abreu play than Duran? But the Red Sox could be like, well, no, like we'd rather have Duran, but we like the top prospect. We put him in left field, Roman Anthony, have Abreu play center, get some pieces that can help us in a Duran deal. We're not going to keep Duran long term. We have Anthony. We can fill center however we want. Um, and they go that way about it. But to me, just if I'm the Red Sox, like I'm just not extremely motivated to go move Jarren Duran. I wouldn't be. I'm curious because I'm sure there's got to be some Red Sox fans that would be watching this here. Let me know in the comments, like your actual view on this, because obviously you're watching Jarren Duran every night and I'm not. But is this someone that the Red Sox want to build around? Or because Dennis Lin here in his article, he's not saying that the Red Sox are like shopping Jarren Duran. He's saying the Padres, Jarren Duran is on their list of trade targets, and it includes Duran again. They expressed interest before the 2024 season. It's not saying that the Red Sox are like, yeah, let's trade Jarren Duran and they're shopping him. Maybe other Boston writers have wrote that Duran's being shopped and the Red Sox don't want him anymore, but I personally haven't seen that. So uh, obviously it's a big name and it's going to get a lot of play on social media, and there's the trade hypotheticals that are going to be floating around and all that. But for me right now, it's just a name that Dennis Lin heard. And obviously, if you're him, you're going to put that out. Dennis doesn't write a lot. So we know, like, I know that this is true. Like, I totally trust Dennis. But I want to hear the other side as well before I, you know, am all in on this deal. Again, I'd like to have Duran. Obviously, our left field, the Padres have tried 8 left fielders this season, and none of them have stuck, however you want to say it. So yeah, I'd like to have Jarren Duran on this team. But do I want to give up the shortstop of the future for him? No, I'm leaning towards no.